Alright, this specific post, right, I kind of want to just touch on a little bit. I might just do it later on, which is, I made this post like 2 days back about this Aglaea and Sunday thing. So, it has 100,000 views. But if you take a look into the quote retweets, right, there are a lot of quote retweets where people cannot fathom running Aglaea without Sunday. Like, they just cannot imagine this being the case, where they believe that Aglaea without Sunday is literally unplayable. So I think the general consensus for like the HSR Twitter community where they want to play Aglaea is that you kind of have to pull Sunday, otherwise just don't play Aglaea. And like my point is basically, it is really not worth the cost, because at the end of the day, pulling both Aglaea plus Sunday, that's 2 costs. But if you were to go for the flip side, and you deploy that 2 costs for, let's just say, E1 Aglaea, you can then free up that cost to throw in your Tribi, which I'm assuming you have kicked out Tribi because she is homeless after you got Cyrene, or no, without Cyrene, into your team 1, right? So for that particular situation, if you're going to be going that way, at least you have like a new home for Tribi to run with. And then your first team, whether you want to play Final, whether you want to play Qi Zhanjian, it is going to be a little bit more flexible, right? It's going to be a little bit more flexible. Or if you really want to go for them +2, then there's always going to be an option. So I went back in before I started stream just to like see where the disparity is going to be, right? I already played the brand new MOC off stream against Sam. So this was done on MrPokke's relatable Lightspan account. But luckily for us, I did not activate the E1 Sunday, right? My Sunday is still E0. So everybody here is basically the exact same E0, E0, E0. Hia is also E0. I would have used DHPD, but he's E2. So I don't want to like skew the differences that bad. But this is with the power of E1 team, right? This is the power of E1 team. You don't really need to care whether or not E1 Tribi clear one entire cycle faster than the one in Sunday. But the thing is, basically, it is definitely doable to run it without. And that is kind of like my main point of view. Because if we are going to be running... Okay, sustainless team is kind of like a different question. Because I think for a lot of like Aglaea sustainless 0 cycles, you still run Sunday. So that is completely fair. But the moment you add in that slot with like a DHPD and like a Hyang, right? Then like, she is no longer bound with Sunday as much as you would think anymore. Like, if this was back in version 3.0, then yes, absolutely. Because we have no other substitutes for bro, right? We have no other... But if you are going to be, let's say, like, you're someone that wants to play Aglaea, right? If you're somebody that wants to play Aglaea, and you, let's just say, are okay with splitting up that Cyrene from the team 1 for wherever it's going to be, then you really don't need to get yourself that Sunday, because you can just save that cost. Because at the end of the day, it is always about, what do you call that? Efficiency. Even though Aglaea with Sunday, she works very well, but if you can be efficient with your pulls and save that +1 cost, that is a +1 cost that you could otherwise give to another team in the future, or go even more into the team comp that you want to say, for example, that E1 Aglaea. And that is like my TLDR for the whole thing. You don't need Sunday anymore. It is definitely doable without Sunday. And frankly speaking, if you do want to play Aglaea, I think we can all just agree it is not a meta pool anymore, right? The reason why you even want to consider picking up Aglaea in the first place is not really because you're chasing for meta. You want to pull Aglaea because you love the way she plays. You love the way that her rotation works. I think that's completely valid. And I think that is also like part of the reason why like HSR is so power giving. It doesn't really matter as much, because if you want to play a specific DPS, you should build that team around the DPS you want to play. So my job over here is to essentially, how can you make the best use of the cost for the DPS that you want to invest in? Which is going to be why I use Aglaea as an example. And another example I brought over is basically like Firefly, right? If you want to play Firefly, which is going to be getting Revive 3.8, it is not really a meta pool anymore. Like, if you want to play Firefly right now, it is not meta. But if you still want to play Firefly, then the most cost-efficient way to go about it is to get Dahlia. Maybe you want to get Fugue, maybe you don't want to get Fugue, because E1 Dahlia is absolutely fucking... I can tell you guys right now, E1 Dahlia, without Fugue, you slap on like a HMC, you want to step on a Fugue, or you want to step on a Rame, Firefly is going to be doing absolutely fucking absurd damage. Is it efficient? Probably not, because we are going to be getting a new version 4. But if you still want to, then at least go about it in like a more, less greedy and stupid way. And I also saw this 0 cycle pose over here. It's not even the main DPS that got the first low-cost zero cycle, by the way. It is Aglaea, Evernight, and Mr. Okay, this Phynon clear is a little bit sus because it has Sena items, right? So, Aglaea, Phynon, Evernight. Aglaea, Phynon, Evernight. I don't know where the fuck the casters go, but apparently the lowest cost zero cycles from CN anyways, or CN and JP, is Aglaea, Phynon, Evernight. So, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, I think with that, okay, don't really worry that much. I think with that, we are gonna be moving on into the data. E1 Dahlia or E2 view from E1 view. I'll get E1 Dahlia. Okay, bro, E1 Dahlia is really, really, really crazy good. It's really, really crazy good. I really got a couple of them zero cycles. E0 Firefly, E1 Dahlia, free HMC with E0 Fugue. Oh my god, bro. It's so fucking satisfying. It's not even against the counter set. It's like the next upcoming Cocolia. So that is a very, very good team, if I can say so myself. Okay, and that is also true. Nothing in HSR is future-proof. Because at some point of time, that team that you put today eventually would require more cost in the future to still keep them relevant. It's a little bit like, I think the best analogy to think of HSR's meta, right, is that you're not buying a house. Because, like, okay, in Singapore's context, a house will always appreciate. Right? So the team that you buy right now, with like the same forecast, 1 year later, it will never be good again. It will never be as good as it is 1 year ago, right? It is more like you're buying a car. And eventually your car is gonna like run down. It's a depreciating asset in HSR. So if you still wanna make that car work, you're gonna have to upgrade the car. Right? You're gonna have to give the car like more engines. You're gonna give them more wheels, right? More interiors, more outer. So that is like how I see HSR's team building. Nothing is ever future proof, right? So if you let's just say you wanna play that specific DPS, just be prepared to be locked in for the DPS. And if let's just say in the future patch they give them a vertical upgrade, you get a vertical upgrade if you still want to play. Then if you don't want to play the DPS anymore, just be prepared to invest in a brand new car, which is definitely going to be more expensive than upgrading your old car, right? I think that's really like the perfect analogy to go about this, right? Okay, bro, wait. I fucking had enough. Bro, bro, I'm gonna fucking crash out. You fucking cunts in the fucking chat, bro. Whenever anyone else says anything wrong with the fucking lore, y'all be like, oh my god, bro is not paying attention, oh my god. Shut the actual fuck up, bro. Like, seriously, it's so fucking annoying. Like, it's not just for HSR, it's for any fucking gacha game, for like Genshin, Impact, anything, somebody says anything wrong with the lore, you have this fucking lore elitist. Of all things to be elitist for, you're elitist for lore. Shut the actual fuck up, okay? Holy shit, bro, it's so fucking... You have coomed your last coom, my man.